Hello to everyone and welcome. This is part 2 of our video for the trim sheet. So now we're going to continue in Substance Painter and thank you for watching. And now we're going to Substance Painter to bake these elements. So let's open Substance Painter. Let's close this one and now File, New. We're choosing 4096. We select the file and we're choosing the wall polymesh trim sheet and we open the mesh. So here we have our plane. Now we're going to go to the baking menu. Let's expand this a little bit. So here I'm going to choose 2048 because it's going to bake it easier, faster, sorry. So here we're choosing trim sheet high and we select it. And here for the super sampling by 4, and here for mesh map bakings we're going to select also the height, and here the mesh, the plane is too far away, so now we're going to go back to Blender and we're going to move it here to pass. Okay, I think now it's fine. Let's go back, export, FBX, trim sheet and export. And here in Substance Painter, in edit, just re-import mesh. And now you can see that everything is red. So now we're going to come here and max frontal distance. We're going to move this until everything is blue. You don't see any red spots. And now you can bake. And now let's go back to painting mode. And now you can see all the ornaments are painted here on top, and if you see just the plane. Now we can add some material on top of it, and we can see how it's going. So first we're going to add, I'm looking for this clay terracotta. Now we're going to play a little bit with the colors. So let's make this grayish, and for the second color let's make this dark. Now we're going to add few layer, and let's make the color a little bit darker. We're going to move the roughness on top because the roughness, it's shiny, and if you send this texture in Unreal Engine or on Blender, it's not that visible. It's too shiny for the rock. So normally the rock is not that shiny, so we need to reduce the roughness. And here we're going to add white mask, and let's go here on the smart masks, and we start to choose which one works best for us. Oh, this H strong should do the work. So let's see. Yeah, it's looking nice. You can see that edges get it's starting to pop up, and let's play a little bit with the adjustments. Let's add some global balance like this, and here I think we can add some grunge, some elements on top of it. So let's try grunge. Let me see. So this grunge shavings, let's add this one. Let's add it as a mask, and now we're going to try planner, and we're going to go here, and we're going to reduce the height. So now you can see there are like tiny scratches on the rock, and you can change the color. You can make them white or black. Actually black grayish looks okay. This can give the realism to the rock texture, but I also want something bigger, like some spots. Let me test this one. Let's try planner. And let's add some height. Yeah, this is smaller, but also good addition to the texture. But I need something like I think I'm going to try this one, grunge, stain it. And again, we're going to add this as a tri-planar, and we're going to scale this to be bigger. Let's rotate it a little bit, and let's move this a little bit on the side. And now let's reduce the height. And I think we should remove, or to make the color closer than the stone. And yeah, we're getting somewhere. And I think I should play a little bit with the color. So I think should be a little bit bluish, like this. And I will stop here because I can play all night with the colors and with the texturing this. But here I see that one of the textures let me see which one is it. Yeah, it's this one. It's I don't like how it's repeating, so let's rotate a little bit, and we're going to scale this a little bit. Now it's not that visible, and maybe we can change the color a little bit, and now we are done. So now we're going to file and export textures, and you're finding the folder where you want to export them. So here you need to find, there is a lot of variations. We have Unreal Engine, Unity, and so on. So Blender works okay, and here the textures, and here is the list of exporting. So we have alpha, base color, displacement, emission, metallic, normal, and roughness. Actually you don't need emission, but doesn't matter. So let's export. Now I want to also to so here you should go on project and select the height map, and we're going to export resources also on trim folder, or where you saving your textures. And now let's go back here, and we're going to save this trim 3, let's say, and we're going to move this down, and let's go back to Blender, select all, we can hide this. And now first we're going to start with plane, and let's rotate X 90 degrees, let's move it up, and let's go to shading, and now we're going to add new material, and here Control Shift and T, and we're looking for our folder, and here this is the height map. We're going to leave this for the end, and now let's add these textures, and here you see we have our textures we created on the plane. And now we're going to play a little bit with the height map, and here for displacement we're going to change with this height map which we generate in Substance Painter. And now let's go to material adjustments, and let's go down, and on displacement we're looking this displacement bump only. We're going to change it to displacement and bump, and in edit mode we're going to subdivide for 20 times, and let's add modifier, and we're going to generate multi-resolution, and we're going to subdivide for 3, let's make it 4 times. And now you can see that we have bump. If of course this is too much, but let's see how it works. I think 110, it's okay. So you can see now this looks very nice. So now let's go back to layout so we can see better. And now I'm going to bring some meshes from different projects because I don't want to waste your time to sculpting again. So let's go here and we're going to pick up these meshes and let's copy, and we're going to paste them here, and we're going to delete the array because we don't need that many. So let's move this here in front, and now I will explain why we're using trim sheet for some cases. And okay, so this element here, it's with PBR textures, and this contains two materials. So one is the bottom element, which is this one, and the other one is the brick textures. And the problem with this is that if you export this in Unreal Engine, only for this element you're using two materials with 4K textures, and it's too heavy for the game. Yeah, it's look better because you can see here everything, it's done properly, it's arranged and so on. Later on you're going to see how it's going with the trim sheet. You also can achieve a very good visuals, but it's never going to be like this one. And the good part of the trim sheet is that with this 4K texture you can create almost all of your projects. I mean, if you're creating one castle, you have the floor tiling, you have the bricks, you can use this for the pillars, you can use this for some different elements. Also you can use this one for the, let's say, this part of this down part element, and a lot of different stuff, and you have only one texture for everything. So let me try to paint this with this material. So let's move this on a side, and we're going to shift MD, and we're going to duplicate this. Let's select this element, and now we're going to delete these two materials, and this is material 0. Okay, so now we're going to add this material on top of this element. So let's go to edit mode, let's turn on the X-ray mode, and I'm going to select this top part and I'm going to delete it. We don't need this one. So you can see this mesh, it's already with seams and sharps. So let's go to UV editing. Let's expand this window. Now I want to select these faces. Sorry, these faces. You can see this was actually the brick material on the previous mesh. And actually I'm going to unwrap this again, so maybe it's going to arrange a little bit better. So let me see now. Okay, so these are the meshes. Now we're going to select them one by one. So I need these 4 meshes. Now we're going to rotate 90 and we're going to arrange them here on the brick part, and let's S and Y, and we're going to scale this, and we're going to move it in place, and let's adjust it like this, and I want to scale it on x-axis just to be here on these corners like this. And now you can see for this shape our displacement is too much because it's crooked. So let's go to shading and let's make this 0.01 for now, and let's go back to UV editing. So yeah, now it's better. And here now we have this brick texture for these faces. Now we're going to rotate 90 and let's move this up here on this part. We're going to S and Y and we're going to expand this. And move it a little bit down. S and X. Like this. So let me select this, and we're going to rotate 90 degrees, and we're going to move this again, S and Y, to scale it up. And S and X, and scale this to fit here. And now for this part you can select, this one, and let's Control plus. No, it's not working like this. So we press L and we're going to select this element and we rotate 90 degrees, and basically this should come here. So we're going to S and Y and scale it down, and should go here on the white part of the edges. Let's select this one with L. Actually, if you place your scenes properly, every element should be separated, so we can select it easy. So now we're going to rotate 90 degrees. Again, we move this here, S and Y, scale this down, move to the position, and let's go back to object mode. And now you can see that we're starting to receive very good results. It's looking nice. It can be better, but we're going there. So now we're going to do this down part, and maybe we're gonna play something with this top part. So edit mode, let's select this one, rotate 90, and I know there is a easier way, but I like to play one by one and to arrange them. It's relaxing sometimes. So S and Y, scale, let's move this down, let's move it here on the side, L, rotate 90, S and Y, and we scale this one. Let's move it on the position, let's move it here, and now the front part, it's okay. Let's make something for the top part. Let's select these faces, and again rotate 90 degrees, and maybe we're going to move this here, and S and X, and scale this to the end, and S and Y to scale this until this point. And let's go here, and let's try something else. Let's select again this 4, and let's move them down here on the crosses, and S and Y, and I think this looks better this way. So you have a lot of possibilities how you can arrange all of these things. And let's check how is on render mode. Yeah, but we don't have HDR. So here from Blender Kit, let's type HDR and let's download something fast. Let's check this evening, 2048. Okay. Yeah, now we have some light. Let's go to layout, and yeah, you can see we have some unfinished things here, but it's no point to do everything. So this look nice. Maybe we can select these bricks, and maybe we're going to S and Y and scale this down and move it, S and Y. I think with one brick it's going to look better. It's look more massive like this, and we can S and X and scale this and move it here, and yeah, this is much better. Okay, so now I'm going to jump fast to the pillar, and let's check how it's going here. So let's rotate 90 degrees. Let's move this here, and let's S and Y, S and X. Okay, but we need to change the material. So let's go in object mode. Let's remove these two materials and let's add this material. And now here we have this pure. Let me go back to edit mode so I can see better. And so S and Y, and we should adjust it exactly where it should be. It's a little bit stretchy, so you can make it to be on the two parts. So let's say add edge loop here, and let's mark a seam, and let's select only this face and S and X and stretch this one. Like this, and let's select this one and S and X, and let's use this part of the pure. Let's go in object mode. You can see that we're changing everything, and maybe we're gonna make this side here, and select this one, rotate 90 degrees. Let's move this up here like this, S and X, S and Y, and boom. You can see this part of the pure. Let's select this face, and maybe we can use this cross here. So let's scale. S and X. This face and this face, let's rotate 90 degrees. Sorry, here, rotate 90. Let's move it here on the top. S and X, S and Y. Now let's add one mesh plane. Let's rotate X 90 degrees. Let's move it here, and S and X, S and Y, sorry, S and Z. And let's go in edit mode, and let's add a couple of loop cuts like this, and let's select this face, and we're going to move this here down like this, and select all and move this here. and basically we're moving all of them where are the brick tilings, and the last one. And now let's add the material, and now you can see we have the brick wall, and you can play a little bit with for example, we can move this so we can break the repetition. Like this. So now let's move this a little bit back like this, and let's go to layout and shift and A, mesh, plane. Let's move this down like this, and let's scale it. Let's shift D, duplicate this pillar. Let's move it on the other side like this, and let's select this, edit, and we're going to add 3 H loops, loop cut, sorry, H, and let's add the material, and let's go back to UV editing, and let's change to faces. Here also we're going to change to faces, and let's move this here like this. Let's select this one, select, move it here. Let's select this one, select, move it here, and the last one, move it here, and here we have some repetition, so let's move it like this, and let's select all, let's move it here, and let's add one plane, mesh plane. Let's rotate X 90 degrees. Let S and Z scale this and let's add the same material. Let's reset all transform, set origins to geometry. Let's go to anywhere in UV editing, and let's unwrap angle paste, select, rotate 90 degrees, and let's move this here, S and Z, sorry, S and Y, and move this S and Z, scale this down a little bit, let's move it, and let's rotate it a little bit. So let's go to layout, and I will stop the video here I think you saw the basics. From here you can only expand. You can play with the adjustments. You can create better trim sheet. Also, you're going to build a trim sheet for what you need. Here you see that we have some stretching, but always you can change with something else. And now let's check the final render. So let's change to cycles, GPU compute, and let's see here on the rendering how it's looking. It's looking nice. We cannot sorry, my computer is very slow, so we can add let's add 1 point light. Let's change the view mode a little bit. So let's change the temperature to something lower, and let's make the color a little bit reddish, and let's add the power. Let's see. Yeah, it's look nice. So this is it. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, subscribe. See you next time.